It is. It absolutely is. And I have seen this both in my professional life and in my personal life. When I was a baby prosecutor, there were jokes that the probable cause to arrest someone would be BWB, biking while black, riding a bicycle, or WWB, walking while black. Those were jokes made by law enforcement and attorneys that were supposed to be defending the system. So I've been fighting it both as a prosecutor and then as a defense attorney. And you're absolutely right. But I've also seen it in my personal life because I am the mother of 2 biracial daughters. And I have never in my life been watched in a store like I have been since my girls turned about preteens. I have seen it with my own eyes, how people look at my daughters and make a judgment about them because of the color of their skin. So when I say I have skin in the game, I have skin in the game, both as a lawyer, fighting for the rights of my clients and of the Constitution. So that means every one of us. And as a mother who has seen how the world treats her children because of the color of their skin. Go love your neighbor.
So lots of people, especially palm-colored people, are now coming out to really expose the truth. And their own people are actually not happy about it because, trust me, nobody will be happy to hear or their own people expose their truth. And this is exactly what is playing out in real time, especially with this woman who is speaking out the truth, like saying out the truth the way it is and happening in their community. Well, let's check out some of the clips I've gathered for you guys about all of these happenings right now and everything that is happening in the US right now and affecting these people more than this. Okay, and this has been for years, running for years. And the next video I'm going to show you, this woman was talking about how all palms are actually racist. Well, let's take a look, then I'll come back with a commentary. Credit to all creators on this video, and please do well to like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts. Let's go watch.
You say that all whites are racist. Can you expound on that, please?
Any white person who was born and raised and schooled in the United States of America, if you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority.
Jane did a really good job here. Let's talk about her point on if you're not racist, it's a miracle. If it sounds crazy to you, it's not. In the United States, we learn through a white male perspective. The history books that we read are written by white men. The media that we consume have been written by white men, is currently controlled by white men. It affects our subconscious thinking. Because Americans are forced to view the world through a white male perspective, we are consuming the white male's perspective on the truth. We're not consuming the neutral truth. Another special thing about what Jane presented here is this lack of blame. She's not blaming the average American. She's not saying, oh, hey, you're a bad person. She's simply explaining how unbelievably unlikely it would be to be American, raised in the American school system, and to not be subconsciously racist. It's just really, really, like, virtually impossible. It would be miraculous. Remember that word she used, miracle. We're raised by the white male perspective. It will still affect all of us. By acknowledging the effect, whether we're purposely racist or not, we're able to address it thoughtfully.
Sometimes in my comments, people say, if I just stopped talking about racism, it would go away. If only. But that's not how any of this works. Look, if silence fixed racism, we'd be living in a post-racial paradise right now. The reason so many of us, especially white folks, don't know how to deal with racism is because we don't talk about it. We don't know how to talk about it. We don't do it in schools, not in church, not at dinner parties, not even at our home dinner tables with our kids. What we did learn was how to change the subject, how to flinch when someone brought it up, how to get real uncomfortable real fast, and then blame that discomfort on the person who brought it up. But racism doesn't disappear just because you pretend it's impolite to mention it. It thrives in silence. It festers when it's ignored. Talking about it is not the problem. Talking about it is the first step toward understanding it and undoing it. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So nope, I'm not going to stop talking about it. And if that makes you squirm a little, maybe you need to sit with that a little bit and figure out what that's trying to tell you. One share or comment or save shows that you care about setting the record straight and that you don't want to just sweep it under the rug. Follow me for more truth-telling, and if you're so motivated, please consider supporting my work at coffee.com/Kelly Snyder. Get curious.
White people, if we want racism to truly go away in America, our voices have to be some of the loudest in condemning it. If you've been paying attention at all, you know and you understand the aggressive attempt that is happening right now to whitewash our world. We've had many people with black or brown skin color removed from prominent positions within the government. We've even had their achievements removed from government websites. There's a blatant attempt to rewrite history when it comes to slavery, with some going as far as to say it wasn't that bad, or we should teach it more gently. And that's just the very tip of the iceberg. White people, do you want to live in a world that is completely void of color? Do any of you guys not hang out with people of different skin color than you? Where are your voices on their behalf? Why are things like this happening over and over again to them, and we are not screaming in enragement? And most importantly, why are we expecting them to do anything whatsoever to combat this? They didn't create this problem. People who look like us did, and people who look like us continue to perpetuate the problem. So then it's people who look like us whose voices have to be the loudest in condemning their behaviors. No, it's not okay to come after our friends who aren't white. No, it's not okay to minimize them. No, it's not okay to hurt or harm them. We are the ones with the privilege, and nothing is going to change unless we use our voices on their behalf. Nobody is better than anybody else because of the color of their skin, but our government is trying to send the opposite message. The only way to stop that is for our voices to be louder, for us to shame people for having such backwards and racist thinking, to call people out when they say the quiet parts out loud. If you're white, I don't know what you're waiting for. The time is now. I've never organized any kind of march or protest before, but it would be my absolute dream, while our black and brown brothers and sisters are at home resting, for all of us white people to be out marching on their behalf, standing in solidarity and support of their communities. I will say this on record. If anybody is in the midst of organizing something like this, please contact me. I will lend my voice however I possibly can to your cause. Right now we have a bunch of white people that are united in their common goals of supremacy. We have to have a bunch of white people that are on the opposite side as a counter-resistance to their efforts. If racism is going to stop, we have to be the ones to stop it.
It's not that people don't have the facts about racism. They just don't want to hear them. They have all the data, they have all the facts, they don't want them because the truth threatens their identity and their status. And that's why this work isn't just about facts. It's about fear, naming the fear. And if you're white, that's our job. White fragility is a real thing. We all have it in us. And I think if we want to push change forward, we need to be able to hold this fear it triggers and do something with it. And also equity work isn't just about holding your own fragility. It's about interrupting collapse in other white people. So other people, black people, don't have to. People of the global majority should not have to hold our fragility. We created the problem, and that means our discomfort isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of the work.
Man, I tell you what, nothing makes racist white people more pissed off than me, a white person, trying to educate about racism and trying to educate about what white privilege is and all these things. And it's so funny because these same people will argue with me till they are blue in the face about how they're not racist and we don't live in a racist institution and black and brown people have it so easy and racism doesn't exist anymore. But then they will turn around and say the most racist, ignorant, vile shit you've ever heard in your life. The disconnect is amazing. And this is why I make content like this, because it's so important, because we do live in a racist institution and we are all raised in racism as white people. This is simply a fact. And the crazy part about it is every one of us knows this. Even the ones who will sit there and fight with me to the death about it and act like it doesn't exist. Y'all know white people are racist. Y'all know about the casual racism, the casual microaggressions that we are raised in, no matter where we live in this United States of America. And this is why I will never stop. I will never stop trying to educate as a white person about racism and how we need to learn. We need to evolve. We need to do better. It's almost as if they feel like admitting to a racist institution or admitting to racism makes them this evil, terrible person. And so they would rather double down than to grow and be a good person. And that's so bad, because all that says to me is that you have a small mind and a cowardly soul. And I wish better for you than that, truly, because everything in your life will get better when you stop being so ignorant.
You know how everybody will say, because I'm Pam, that does not mean I'm raised to the deceased and all that. But somehow we keep seeing Pam colored people come out to really say that, you know what, every Pam is actually raised to the deceased. And really, like, a lot of them actually feel betrayed because somebody is exposing this truth. Well, let's check out the comment section. Someone said, I refuse to believe there is a white family where no one is raised to the deceased. Someone in that family is raised to the deceased. Okay, she's truthing. Finally a good one. She was my miracle as she was my third grade teacher. So tired of being labeled because of my skin color. Never did this myself. Tired of having it done to me. Okay, as a white woman, I'm trying to relearn the fact what she says is real. I feel where I can make a difference is to keep my children aware. Okay, a lot of them actually coming to the realization of what happened in the past. Okay, when I was 4 years old in 1979, I met a girl named Greta. I love Greta. Okay, growing up in the 80s, race disease was common when I heard people saying, okay, definitely relying on the education system alone is a miracle to not be race disease. It takes education on your own after to reprogram yourself, and that's the truth. The where where people actually learn is really not in classroom. Okay, a lot of people learn from reading history books, reading a lot. Okay, discussion with people in the past, like just discussion with other minorities or other people of color. Those can actually help you to learn better and get the real history as it is. Yellow Mellow, she's out here dropping bars better than most rappers nowadays. Okay, she's absolutely right. There are only 2 companies in the US that create all of our textbook. Wow. Well, I guess I'm the miracle person, or my family was. I was raised outside New York, and my mom was from Cal, and my dad was from Kansas. Okay, we had black friends, Puerto Rican friends, or Oriental friends. Okay, and someone said, "Oh, you were born in 2024, things have changed. I graduated in 2023. We were taught about racial prejudice and the effects of slavery. We even had an African American studies in class. Okay, in middle school, they came on the announcement and said, if you are a POC, come to the cafe for a meeting. They came back to class with cakes and soda, while non-POC students stayed behind and took a test on African American studies. I don't think trying to flick the street script is going to do anything for Ray to the sis. She's a serious fighter. Thanks to this one. Peace, my elder. I love her. When I first started teaching, they showed a lot of her videos. Okay, definitely took deep programming myself and educating myself to get rid of what was taught to us when we were young. How does me learning about shit? Okay, I don't get this person. Everything truth, okay, truthful I've ever learned about Black history or us history in general has been on my own outside of university. You have to self-educate yourself, and that's the truth. Like, if you really want to get it right, then you have to seek knowledge elsewhere, not just depending on your teachers to bring it to you. I know that a lot of the history has been whitewashed, and if you keep depending on it, you might not know the exact history or exact thing that really happened. Okay, the best is for you to educate yourself, try to understand what's happening or what has happened those years. Okay, read from real people, okay, that wrote those books, okay, and find out exactly, not white. Okay, if you really want to hear about white black history, I don't think you want to read those whitewash books. Okay, you want to understand exactly what happened in the past, how did it happen, how did the black ancestors, find themselves in America or some of these European countries where they were transported to. Just ask questions, Google, just try to read up, and definitely those answers are always out there. But sometimes people just want to depend on their teachers and whatever thing their professors taught them in classroom, forgetting the fact that some of these things have been filtered down, so somehow you might not get the exact nutrients, okay, that you are looking for. Well, guys, share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Let's have it in the comment section. Let's have it. Please do what to like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, okay, so that more people can see it. And please do what to drop your thoughts in the comment section. Credit to all creators on this video. See you all on my next. Bye, guys.